So I'm a little bit, this is the first time I've ever done this. Hi, Tammy from Michigan. Hi, Anna from Wichita. Hi, Tammy from Pennsylvania. Sue from Wisconsin. Jennifer from Sonoma. Welcome, welcome. Ashley from Los Angeles. It's wonderful to see you all here today. Andrew, I'm going to ask you to mind the chat for me. Can you put yourself back on and mind the chat for me? Hi, Brenda. Hi, Autumn. Welcome. This is the launch of our Spring Journey to Vitality campaign. And I'm your host, Katthe Wolf, today. And I'm excited to share this all with you and to have you all joining us on this journey. Next slide, Andrew. These will be familiar ways to engage. There are two ways to engage. The first one you're doing in the chat. The second one is if you want to say something, if you want to be heard, then you, and Anna, you're already agreeing. Okay, then you mute yourself, you unmute yourself, and then raise your hand, unmute yourself, and then Andrew will recognize you, he'll unmute you, and you can talk. So without further ado, the agreements, recognizing that we co-create this safe space together, speak from your own experience, treat other people the way you want to be treated, and no multitasking. If you agree, please put it in the chat. I agree to the agreements because we only have a half an hour today because we are having a springtime focus on vitality. And we're asking all of you to join us in jumpstarting a groundswell of positivity that will uplift and transport the community out of the post-winter funk. And it's just kind of as COVID is dissipating, as the spring is springing, as we're all trying to shake off whatever we need to shake off, Be Strong Families wants to just have us gather together. We're using these lunchtime webinars as kind of a touch base accountability, but each week we'll have a different domain of vitality during April and May. And the webinars will be shorter, about a half an hour, and staff is going to hold space for them. But occasionally we will have an hour-long guest speaker, and you'll know about that. And then every Friday, we're having a Taste of Vitality Cafe. So that's on Fridays. So this is the schedule. The launch week is this week, and you'll see what the other webinars are that are coming up. And then week 2, physical vitality, then we'll go to spiritual, then we'll go to financial, social, environmental, emotional, and mental, and then holistic, rounding out Memorial Day. So we only have a few minutes. Why are you here? What do you want to do? Like when you think of your own vitality, what is your hope for yourself or your intention for yourself as a result of going on this journey to vitality that we're all taking? And Andrew, if you would mind the chat, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, Anna says to feel good. Deanne says to learn more about vitality. I can do it. To better focus, to create more balance for me. Give more me time, set intentions in these areas, Jennifer says. Tammy says that I commit to better myself. I love it. Tammy says, I want to refresh myself. Mind, does it say body, environment, etc.? Oh, commit to better myself so I can give more to others. This is so interesting with this, with doing Zoom on the phone. Yeah, me too. All of that is true for me too. And for me also, I just moved and I know that I've been very sedentary during COVID. Like I got myself a new Fitbit and I'm watching just already how much, I need to move more. I need to, and I would like to lose a little weight.
Yeah, mine is just like shaking off the whole winter feeling. I don't know. It's just kind of just an overwhelming sense of winterness here. So I'm really excited for this spring vitality. I'm putting a huge emphasis on the spring part.
And Amanda says she wants to relax and have some me time. And Brenda says to be more understanding. Due to COVID, I feel that I have changed. Tammy says, yes, time to come out of hibernation. And Esmeralda says, to create a space within myself that allows for growth, forgiveness, and empathy. I just love these intentions. And Tracy says, I want to have the connection. Yeah, that's what we thought. We thought like, so often improving our own lives is like only something that concerns us, or that it's a private journey. And we thought like, what if we all just decided that we're going to like link up? We don't have to have the same goals. We don't have to have the same intentions, but we just link up and support each other in being the best me that we could be. And Deanne says, I just stated today that I need to resume my daily walks and lose weight as well. I've been feeling blah lately, but I know sun makes everything better. And Yesenia says, be more positive for my body, mind, and my soul. Sylvia says, to energize myself, my mind, body, and connect with others. Can anyone hear her? Janine says, can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. I don't know what's going on for you, Janine. Awesome. Okay. So I'm glad I'm not totally unheard. And I'm sorry, Janine, maybe you need to log off and log back on. So these are great intentions. And what I love about the intentions, my Zoom, what I love about the intentions that people are setting is that they're as much about being gracious and graceful and kind to oneself as they are about and gentle. I'm feeling gentleness. I'm feeling kindness. I'm feeling love, self-love and self-care that really resonate with me. And I'm feeling a desire to connect. So whatever you're here to do, this is your time, your space. And this is just, you're working on it or playing on it the rest of the time. But just every weekday at 12, we can just touch base with each other. Next slide, Andrew. So we had a couple more questions. Ashley says to recenter, ground myself, imagine new possibilities. And it's really great, like, to put this stuff in the chat. I just want to say that for you, for any of us, like, just speaking it, saying it, writing it down, having it witnessed, what your intentions are is really powerful and really does help with realizing the intentions and making them manifesting. So if you wrote something in the chat, I would encourage you, I don't know if it's a journal or if it's like a notes section on your computer, or if it's a little notebook that you keep, but I would encourage you to kind of like create a space to write what you wrote in the chat on it. And then tomorrow we're also, you'll hear more about this later, but tomorrow we're going to have like a little self-assessment that offering you to be able to do the same thing, to be able to print it out or save it somewhere on your computer and just fill it out now and then fill it out and then fill it out at the end and see what happened. Because sometimes that's the exciting part about a journey, is that you don't really know what's going to happen. You set the intentions and then you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but something's going to happen. Something's going to happen.
Deanne says she wants to spring clean her doldrums.
Nice.
Winter doldrums.
Spring clean my doldrums. I love it. Cleaning. Yes, it's a great metaphor. So we're gathering as a community to work on vitality. And I have a couple of questions. These are a little bit deeper. When you think about holistic vitality, what's an area that you've neglected that would make a big difference if you attended to it? So I'm going to, next week when we start on physical vitality, I'm going to also talk about like those things that we avoid, because sometimes like we focus on certain things like maybe weight, but we avoid other things like maybe, A1C or, with things, there's certain things we're willing to look at and certain things we're not willing to look at. So one of those areas that you've neglected that would make a big difference if you attended to it in your own vitality.
Deanne says walking, because it helps give me clarity in my thoughts
and focus. Yep.
Focus.
What's somebody else, an area that you've neglected? I know before I started this myself just a few weeks ago, I know I had been I had been neglecting my spiritual practice. I had been not doing meditation. Yeah, Deanne says, Riri says meditation. Brenda's diet. Mm. Anna says taking care of myself instead of everyone else. Yep. Yeah. And I realized that, for me, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, I'm so much better when I am on my spiritual practice, when I meditate, get up and meditate in the morning. And when I do some physical activity, just stretching, yoga, walking, like one thing leads to another, but the spiritual is like the key. Yeah. For some people, it might also be, since returning to the office, Ashley says, my handwork and creativity has been neglected. Ooh, I have to get grounded at home on the weekend. And I also plan to bring handwork into the office to work on. Great. And Tamika says, financial vitality. I want to save. Yes. I mean, that's what I was going to say. Like some of these environmental vitality, financial vitality, sometimes that is something that, we can neglect, but it makes a huge difference if we don't neglect it, because it's like it weighs on you from the background. And Tammy says, one area that I've been slacking on is environmental vitality. My room doubles as my office and also has a mini kitchen area set up. Things are becoming cluttered and less organized. It would make a big difference to me emotionally to have things back in better working order. Yes.
Yeah, I really resonate with that one, just because I'm currently in the moving process and very cluttered here right now. But I'm really, really excited to just make my own space once I move into the new place. So.
Esmeralda says, my heart, because I'm an empath and always worry about everyone's well-being and leave myself for last. I'm a teacher, a mama, and a family advocate. Eek. Amen. Yes. And you're a person that needs to be loved. And sometimes it's that self-love, that giving to yourself. Amanda says, I have neglected building my miniatures, and it really gave me peace and relaxation to build them. Nice. I love the wisdom that just when you sit with the question, the answers come, that you do know what you've been neglecting or what you've been avoiding that you need to focus on. And like it might not, somebody else might look at you, or somebody else, even that knows you pretty well, might look at you or might say, ooh, she really needs to get on that, or he really needs to get on that. But you know what is the thing that's going to unlock all the other things. And that's part of what this journey to vitality is about, is like you getting in touch with what you need to do to unlock the floodgates of vitality for yourself. And Colleen says, financial vitality impacts my mental and emotional mentality. I can feel it holding me back. Yes, that's another way of looking at it, is like, you can feel it, like when you wake up in the middle of the night, or you wake up early in the morning and something is on your mind and you push it away. Like that's one thing that happens to me financially. If I don't have my things in order, if I'm not on top of what I owe to who and how, at this time, I mean, I'm getting older. So like, it's almost like I can feel when things are out of sync, financially, when, as much as it's not really a mental thing, it is like emotional. Yeah. Mental, it's more of an emotional thing that I can just feel when it's, when things are out of balance. So any others, what are the things that you've been neglecting or avoiding, or that you need to bring to the forefront for yourself? And you're welcome to raise your hand, unmute, and talk if you want to. I just want to remind you, you're welcome to do that. And we'll wait a little bit to see if anybody else wants to participate with this question. And then we will move to the next question, which is, okay, so this vitality journey that you're all on, and please know that it's an invitation, and it isn't like you have to show up every day, but you are welcome to show up every day, or you're welcome to show up as often as you want to show up. If it's once a week, if it's twice a week, or if it's every day 1 week and 1 day the next week, if you skip a week, anything is fine. This is just, we're going to be here every day just to be holding space for anybody who wants to come in and chat, and it's going to help you stay on track. But my question is, how will this be different from any diet, boot camp, commitment, etc. that you've done before? So, it's not a new idea to have like a group of people working on improving themselves together. So how is this going to be different? Yesenia, and what are your intentions? How do you want it to be different? Yesenia says, love myself, acknowledge myself. Jennifer says, spiritual and physical yoga practice, been neglected since I first had the baby 4.5 years ago. I love it that you said spiritual and physical yoga practice, Jennifer, because for me, the physical is just one aspect of it. And I'm sure you've been doing once you're a yogi or a yogini, you're doing the spiritual naturally, some of it. So don't say that you haven't done any, because you have, I'm sure. And Tammy says, it'll be different because I usually do things alone or on my own. Here I feel I have a safe space to talk about what I'm working on and to know that I'm not alone. Anna says, I feel this is improving the brain and getting ideas from others. Deanne said, to be intentional, carve out time each day to meditate.
Yeah, this will definitely be the first time for me that I've done this with the community. Anytime I've tried to do anything vitality related, I feel like I've focused way too much on just the individual efforts, but I think there's so much that I'm going to get out of this just from interacting with the community and being there.
Yeah, my intentions for this for myself is I usually get obsessive. Like I usually make goals and then I get like, I'm tracking every little thing and, I'm eating if diet is one of my things, or I'm recording everything that I'm, how I'm moving, if exercise is one of my things. And I do, full disclosure, I did get a Fitbit. I did restart my relationship with my Fitbit. So I am able to track all those things. But the tracking is not the point for me in terms of the journey to vitality this time. For me, this time, the point is maximizing joy. I mean, it's the uplifting, it's the holding it lightly, and not like pushing myself to achieve. I think that's how I want this to be different, is I want it to be a combination between me doing the things I need to do to improve my vitality and holding myself accountable and just relaxing into the joy of vitality that I think is all of our birthrights.
I love that. Colleen says, I think digging deeper into the why and exploring those answers within a community. I look forward to learning from so many others who are in different places in their journey. And then Deanne says, it helps me to have accountability to others.
Nice. And I hope this will be a place where somebody can, as we get, I'm going to be doing Mondays for the most part. And my plan is to introduce the domain and also have a chance to brag, have a chance for all of us to say, what's happening, and what we're proud of and what we want people to celebrate with us about, and then also, to ask for ideas from each other. So that's my plan. And then you'll see that we have a topic every day, but we define it as like, it's mostly conversation, conversation starters, because it's like there's what we said, micro training. Like there might be a tiny bit of information that we put out there, but mostly it's just conversation. Yeah. And Tammy says that definitely resonates with me as well. I've been trying to hold myself accountable, but at the same time to be gentle with myself and not beat myself up for mistakes or setbacks. Yes. So let's see. Next slide, Andrew. We also are going to have a little extra incentive for people if you need a little extra incentive. So we're going to track how many events you come to. And we're going to send you presents as a result. We're going to send you emails. We're going to try to send emails. We don't know how we're not exactly sure how to do it, because we expect more people to join us as we go. Like anybody can join at any time, but we just want to send you gifts. I love you gifts along the way. So if you go to, the more events you go to, the more gifts you get. And So we just want this to be a really welcoming, happy, joyful place for all of you. And again, people, it's not like it's closed after today or closed after tomorrow. People can join at any time. So tell your friends and family and encourage them if they, anybody who wants a little to be part of a community that's focusing on its well-being, they are welcome. So next slide, Andrew. Oh, and social media. I mean, we're going to use those of you who are in the Katthe community of practice. That's for people who are doing cafes. We hope that there'll be a big, there'll be a focus in there on that. Those of you who aren't, you could follow us on any of these, social media channels and amplify whatever you're doing for your journey to vitality. Let's see. The chat, it says, the socialization piece will be helpful, Denise says. Yeah, and you can send this blog, the blog that Andrew did last week. He's been my partner in this, and he's going to be our tech support. You're going to do it for all of them, right,
Yeah,
Andrew?
pretty much every day. Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
So Andrew is going to be on the journey with us. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about, as I said, the vitality assessment. We're still trying to figure out, it was done as a survey monkey, but I really want you all to be able to have it, like put it in a safe place and have it. So I'm thinking to try to do it just as a PDF that you can download. We can put in the chat and, what, Andrew?
Well, what I'm thinking is, I don't think I can attach files in the chat, but what I'm probably going to do is I'll have the PDF available in this blog, like at the very top. So I'll send the link and then everybody can click it, download it. That'll make it pretty easy for everyone.
Yeah, so that's the vitality assessment tomorrow. And we'll also just have some free floating conversation on where are you, like spiritually, like how are you feeling spiritually? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling financially? And maybe we'll have some polls that just kind of tell us as a group, on a scale of 1 to 5, where are you with each of these domains? And so we'll have that, as at the same time. And the personal one you can fill out on your own later. And then Alexandra's going to be here Thursday. And she's going to be doing, the theme is vitality self-talk for success. And again, when there's a different Be Strong Family staff person other than me holding space, it's because they really wanted to have that topic that they're talking about. They wanted to be part of that conversation because, like, when we started talking about vitality with Alexandra, she was like, the self-talk is so important. I really want to have a conversation about self-talk. So, I mean, there's a lot of energy on the Be Strong Family staff for this journey and the topics that people are passionate about. And then on Fridays, we're going to have the Taste of Vitality Cafe. And the one on this Friday is general, and then it'll be specific to the domain on following Fridays. So Sarita's real involved in those. I don't know that she'll be doing every one of them, but Sarita's very involved in the cafes. And we're going to have parent leaders who are on our National Parent Cafe team, table hosting or room hosting from that. So for that. So the Taste of Vitality Cafe will be then. And is that the last slide, Andrew?
Yeah, that's the last slide.
Wow, half an hour went really fast. It's
we got
24
6 minutes left.
We got 6 minutes left. All right. Well, so now that I've talked about what's happening, what are you excited about? And how many of you plan to come tomorrow? If you were going to choose, Yesenia says she's going to. Andrew's super excited for physical. Is that what you said?
Physical and financial.
Physical and financial. Yeah, I guess that's another question is when you're thinking about these domains, the orange one's physical. What's Esmeralda saying? She's Tammy says she's excited for all of it, especially the cafes on Friday. Unfortunately, this Friday's up in the air. Oh, I'm sorry. Your daughter's having surgery. Well, we'll pray for her. Melissa's coming tomorrow, embracing the fact to me that I need to be okay with not being okay. I'm also a foster mom who littles just went back to their home and I'm still grieving and it sucks. Yes, grieving is not my favorite thing to do either, Esmeralda. And it is, I just finished, we're finishing up developing Grief Compass, which is a cafe for navigating trauma and loss. It's a cafe deck. And so I'm coming out of those conversations and we will have a tool for that. Much as possible. Good. People are planning to come as much as possible. Great. Yeah, I think that's all we can do. I'm coming as often as possible too. I'll attend ones that I'm not hosting too. As often as I can, as often as my schedule permits. So I guess, like Andrew said, he's excited for the physical and the financial mostly. The blue lightning bolt is spiritual. The dollar sign is financial. The yellow one with people is social. The green is environmental. And the pink one is mental and emotional. So which ones are you most excited about? It doesn't have to be just one domain, but which ones are you most excited about? I'm always excited about the spiritual and the physical because I took a course in psychology on somatic psychology, and I really think that my body is connected to my soul very closely, and that my mind sometimes mediates between them and sometimes breaks that connection. Just a thought for those of you who might resonate with that. Ashley, impromptu. Yes, plan to come except on Fridays. This is grandparent day. Let's see. Oh, you had a grief circle. Yes, well, the resource will be available probably in June. And I'm sure there will be other grief circles. So, and the questions, it was really wonderful to the questions. Emotional, financial, and spiritual, but excited about all of them. I can't pick just one. Good. Well, that's why we're doing holistic. So I think I appreciate all of you joining us today. And I'm looking forward to being with as many of you as can come tomorrow. And I think that's it. Spring Ramadan around the corner, especially excited about the spiritual. Nice.
I dropped the link in the chat for tomorrow's webinar too.
Just in case you want to sign up if you haven't, that would be great. Last words. See, this half hour it's interesting. We've been doing an hour and that felt like sometimes, we were running out of time. And then today with the intention to just do a half hour, I'm feeling like, wow, that was a long time. So it's just interesting the way time works. Thank you all for being here and we'll see you tomorrow.
See everyone.
Love, light, and blessing. Nice, Esmeralda. Love, light, and blessing back after you. Super excited. Felt fast to me. Thanks, everyone. Yes. Joy, love, light, blessings, peace, all good things to all.